Chosen one, let's talk about something heavy, something most people feel but are too afraid to say out loud. Not everyone who smiles at you is clapping for you. Not everyone in your circle is in your corner. Sometimes the people closest to you, the ones you grew up with, laughed with, maybe even cried with, are secretly wrestling with resentment they've never confessed. Some carry envy disguised as love. Others have perfected the art of pretending. They show up, but their hearts don't. They congratulate you, but their energy betrays them. You felt it, that weird shift in the room when you speak about your dreams. That awkward silence when you announce good news. That subtle shade tossed like confetti at your brightest moments. You probably tried to ignore it. You told yourself you were overthinking. You made excuses for their lack of support, their passive-aggressive comments, their vanishing acts during your darkest days. You tried to keep the peace, stay humble, and not cause waves. But deep in your spirit, you knew something didn't feel right. That uneasy feeling in your gut wasn't paranoia. It was divine intuition. It was your inner light warning you. Some of the smiles around you are masks. Some of the hugs are hiding nods. This message, it's your confirmation. You're not crazy. You're not imagining it. You're just waking up. And when you begin to awaken, when your soul starts rising, healing, transforming, your light will naturally expose what others have spent their whole lives trying to hide. Jealousy, insecurity, fear, fake love. You start to see the truth not just with your eyes, but with your spirit. And it hurts, but it also sets you free. As a chosen one, you weren't made to blend in. Your presence shakes rooms. Your growth disrupts comfort zones. Your healing journey reflects the pain others are still avoiding. That's why you trigger people, not because you're doing something wrong, but because you're finally doing what they're too afraid to do. You're growing. You're evolving. You're answering the call on your life. And that kind of light will always attract two things: divine favor and hidden enemies. Sometimes the enemy doesn't come dressed as a stranger. Sometimes they come dressed as your friend, your cousin, your partner. They clap with one hand and hide a dagger in the other. They tell you, "I'm proud of you," but their tone lacks the warmth. They show up for your big moments, but somehow never really see you. The moment you start shining, they shrink away, not because your light is too bright, but because it reminds them of the shadows they're still living in. You may have already noticed it. That friend who used to always be around, but started pulling away the moment you began to level up. The relative who once gave advice, but now throws backhanded compliments. The coworker who used to cheer for your ideas, but now competes with every move you make. These aren't coincidences. These are revelations. The truth is, your success holds up a mirror, and not everyone is ready to look. Your glow says, healing is possible. Purpose is real. Joy is your birthright. But some people are still choosing bitterness. Some people are still choosing comfort over calling. And when they see you walking in your truth, it reminds them that they're still stuck in theirs. They don't hate you, they hate what you represent. Proof that transformation is possible if you're willing to do the work. And that's the thing. You've done the work. The inner work. The silent battles. The lonely nights where you cried yourself into clarity. The countless times you had to rebuild your peace after people tried to tear it apart. The moments when you had no one but still chose to rise. That's what they don't see. That's what they'll never fully understand. People see your glow, but not your grit. They see the fruit, but not the roots. And because they don't understand your process, they assume your blessings are luck, not realizing you bled for this. You sacrificed for this. You lost people for this. And still, you stayed soft. Still, you chose love. Still, you kept going. That alone makes you dangerous in a world addicted to bitterness. But let's talk about the silent competition. The people in your life who smile in your face but secretly want to outdo you. You share your vision, and suddenly they've got a bigger one. You announce a win, and instead of celebrating, they try to one-up you. They're not trying to walk with you, they're trying to outrun you. Not because they want to win, but because they can't stand to see you go first. See, competition isn't always loud. Sometimes it's subtle. It looks like support, but feels off. It's that weird energy that shifts when the topic becomes you. They say, "I've been meaning to do that too." Or, "Oh, I already knew that." As if your progress somehow threatens their identity. But chosen one, know this. Real friends don't compete. Real love doesn't envy. If someone can't clap for you without comparing, they were never really clapping, they were calculating. Then there are those who vanish when you're hurting. When the world was cheering, they were front row. But the moment your world fell apart, they went ghost. No texts, no calls, just silence. And silence speaks volumes. Their absence during your pain says more than their presence ever could. Because people who love you show up when it's messy. They don't disappear when it's inconvenient. They don't scroll past your heartbreak while pretending not to see. If they could be present for your wins, but invisible for your wounds, they were never really for you. And here's what hurts even more. Some people secretly enjoy your downfall. They may never say it, but your struggle makes them feel better about their own stagnation. Your pain becomes their proof that you're not above them. Your loss becomes their quiet relief. It's twisted, but it's real. That's why you can't beg people to care. You can't chase love where there's only ego. Let them go. Let their silence be the closure. Now, this next part might sting, but it's the truth. Some of your enemies want to be you. They copy your style, your voice, your way of expressing yourself. They imitate your energy, your confidence, even your spiritual growth, all while mocking you behind closed doors. They steal your sauce and then talk like they made the recipe. It might seem flattering at first. You think, wow, I must be inspiring them. But inspiration is honest. Envy is sneaky. They don't want to walk with you. They want to replace you. They want what you have, but they don't want to honor how you got it. And when people try to imitate your light without embodying your truth, what they end up with is a shallow version of something they never truly understood. But don't let that change you. Don't shrink. Don't dim. Don't stop shining just because it makes them squint. Your light isn't the problem, it's their lack of healing. And no matter how hard they try, they'll never be you. They can copy the image, but not the essence. They can mimic the fruit, but not the roots. Because what makes you chosen isn't your style, it's your soul. So protect your energy. Be wise with your access. You don't owe anyone proximity just because you share a past. Some people were meant to witness your growth from a distance. Not out of spite, but out of protection for both of you. Your spirit can't thrive around small minds. Your vision can't expand where envy lurks. And your calling is too big to be dimmed by someone else's insecurity. You were born to stand out, to rise, to glow unapologetically. And yes, that glow will expose the snakes in the grass. But don't be afraid. That's what light does. It reveals. And you're walking proof that even in the face of fake love, hidden enemies, and spiritual warfare, purpose always wins. So keep rising, keep healing, keep speaking truth. You weren't made to be understood by everyone. You were made to be chosen by the right ones. And if this message hit you in the soul, like it was speaking directly to your situation, it probably was. Type 111 in the comments. Let the universe know you're awake, aware, and divinely protected. This isn't just a video. This is a spiritual alignment, a confirmation, a wake-up call. Stay sharp, stay covered, and above all, stay true to who you are. Because no matter who falls off, fakes their support, or hides behind envy, your purpose is untouchable. And the ones who are truly for you, they'll see it, they'll feel it, and they'll rise with you. There's a strange kind of praise that doesn't feel like praise at all. It sounds nice on the surface, words like, "You're doing great for someone your age," or "You're smart, but you overthink things." It might even come with a smile or a pat on the back. But deep down, something about it doesn't sit right. It lingers in your chest, not as warmth, but as a quiet sting. That's not your imagination, it's a backhanded compliment. And it's not a compliment at all. It's a masked jab, carefully wrapped in false positivity, designed not to uplift you, but to destabilize you. You see, people who secretly resent you will never offer you pure, unfiltered praise. They'll lace every word of support with a thread of doubt. Every compliment will come with an undercut, an implication that you're not quite enough, or worse, that you're doing too much. This isn't just petty behavior. It's psychological warfare dressed in politeness. And it happens when your growth threatens someone else's comfort zone. When your light starts to shine too brightly, it exposes all the places they haven't healed. And instead of confronting their own discomfort, they reflect it back onto you. But when you're truly aligned, when your spirit is centered and rooted in truth, you begin to hear the frequency beneath the words. You start to notice the energy behind someone's tone. And in that clarity, you recognize who's really clapping for you and who's just clapping because they feel they have to. You learn the difference between being celebrated and merely being tolerated. And most importantly, you stop shrinking. You stop apologizing for taking up space. You stop dimming your light just to make others feel better about their shadows. Those backhanded comments aren't your reality. They're projections of someone else's struggle. Your glow is not the problem. Their refusal to heal is. And as you evolve, as you begin to prioritize peace over drama, growth over comfort, intention over impulse, something else begins to happen. People start to mock you. Not openly, not always cruelly, but subtly. They'll raise an eyebrow at your meditation routine, laugh at your journaling habit, make jokes about your spiritual practices. "You're so deep now," they'll say, as if depth is something to be ashamed of. "You've changed," as if that isn't the entire point of life. But let's be real. What they're really saying is, "Your growth makes me uncomfortable." Because when you begin to change, when you start to heal, your transformation becomes a mirror. And not everyone is ready to face their own reflection. Your peace threatens their chaos. Your boundaries challenge their control. Your silence makes them sit with thoughts they've spent years trying to avoid. So they mock you. They laugh, not because what you're doing is silly, but because deep down, they know it's powerful. And power makes people uncomfortable when they haven't yet found their own. The truth is, growth is lonely. It separates you from what's familiar. And sometimes, it even isolates you from the people you thought would always support you. But hear this clearly. No one who truly loves you will mock the way you find your peace. Real love doesn't belittle your healing. It doesn't turn your evolution into a punchline. So let them laugh. Let them joke. Let them roll their eyes. And keep growing anyway. Your journey isn't up for debate. Your path is sacred, even when others don't understand it. There's another kind of hidden resentment that wears a much softer mask. It comes disguised as love, as concern. These are the people who offer you advice that sounds kind, but is really meant to keep you small. They'll tell you to slow down, to not speak too loudly, to be careful not to go too far. And it sounds like protection. It sounds like wisdom, but it's not. It's fear. And it's not yours. It's theirs. What they're really doing is projecting their own limitations onto you. They're trying to box in your potential because your boldness terrifies them. Your willingness to step into the unknown, to live out loud, to believe in something bigger, it reminds them of all the ways they've settled. So instead of cheering you on, they feed your doubts. And they do it gently, under the guise of love. But chosen one, not all advice is sent from the heavens. Some of it is rooted in jealousy. Some of it is seated in insecurity. You must learn to discern not just the words being said, but the energy that comes with them. Because not everyone who calls themselves a friend wants to see you fly. Some people are most comfortable when you stay at the same level, when you're relatable, predictable, non-threatening. And the moment you start rising, even if it's quietly, they feel the shift. You'll notice it. The subtle discouragement, the side eyes, the sudden distance. You'll leave conversations feeling more confused than clear, more drained than energized. That's not a coincidence. That's your spirit picking up on something your mind hasn't caught yet. There's a whisper inside you saying, something is off here, and you must learn to trust that whisper before it turns into a scream. Because here's the thing, energy never lies. People can fake smiles. They can fake kind gestures. They can even fake support. But they cannot fake frequency. And your soul knows. Your body knows. That uneasiness you feel around certain people, that heaviness after being in their presence, that's not random. That's spiritual intelligence. That's your intuition sounding the alarm. And yet, so often, we dismiss it. We rationalize. We tell ourselves, they're just having a bad day, or maybe I'm being too sensitive. But your sensitivity is not a flaw. It's your superpower. It's your internal GPS trying to keep you safe. So stop second guessing it. Stop ignoring what your spirit already knows. You weren't meant to stay in rooms where your soul feels small. You weren't created to walk through life dimming your light so others can feel more comfortable in the dark. The truth is, some of the people closest to you may carry the deepest resentment, not because of anything you did wrong, but because of who you are. Your light disrupts their shadows. Your growth makes their stagnation harder to ignore. Your truth calls out their illusions. And instead of rising with you, they resist you. But that's not your burden to carry. You were never meant to shrink for someone else's comfort. You were never meant to silence your truth just to keep the peace. Your existence is divine. Your path is purposeful. And your spirit knows when something or someone is no longer aligned. So if your soul starts to feel uneasy around someone, honor that. Don't explain it away. Don't let guilt trap you in places you've outgrown. Let go, lovingly, forgivingly, but decisively, because your peace is priceless and your energy is sacred. And anyone who genuinely cares for you will want to see you free, whole, and unapologetically you. This is your reminder that you don't need external validation for an internal awakening. Your journey doesn't have to make sense to anyone else. Your healing doesn't need an audience. And your evolution isn't up for negotiation. Keep growing. Keep rising. Keep walking your sacred path, even if the path gets lonely at times. Because the people who are meant for you, the ones who truly see you, will never ask you to dim your light to make them more comfortable. And if this message found you in a moment where you needed clarity, confirmation, or just a reminder of who you are, take this as your sign. The universe didn't bring you here by accident. You're awakening. You're expanding. You're becoming. And yes, that will trigger some people. But that's not your problem. That's your power. So breathe deep. Stand tall. and walk forward with courage. You were never meant to play small. You were never meant to blend in. You were born to break patterns, break cycles, and break free. Trust your spirit, honor your growth, and protect your energy always.